Torts, after the Monday game that your team played in Florida against the Panthers, very good game, very competitive game. Came down to an empty net goal in the third period. Were you shocked and surprised of what happened the very next day on Tuesday, where you wind up losing the game 5-1 in a game, again, in which you're in it, but then the wheels kind of fall off in the second period?
Yeah, and it's a 5-1 game, but I don't, when we're at 3-1, I don't think we're playing that badly. And so you got to be really careful as far as what the score is. The frustrating part, Bobby, as we go through our last games here, is I'm hoping to see just some improvement as far as turnovers, as far as situational stuff, as far as the score on the board and where the momentum of the game is. And honestly, it's still a struggle. It's still a struggle with some guys, and those are the things we're trying to teach. We continue to teach. We show tape. We continue to teach. We put our best lineup in that we think is going to win. Other than just a couple of guys that Young would like to see, as I've talked about. But that's the frustrating part. I still think we're making the same mistakes that are self-inflicted on us. And I'd rather see a team beat us instead of us beat ourselves in certain situations.
And when you're talking about turnovers, as good of an offensive year as Jack Roslovic has had, that's been the one thing that has kind of plagued him, is that turnover here and there throughout the game, right?
Yeah. And you see some really good things in Jack, but Jack's got to learn how to play the game. And those are the things we continue to teach as far as just the small things that go on in the game. What changes momentums of the game, areas of the ice. I mean, he has that puck at the blue line. When it's 3-1, we spent a number of minutes in their end zone. You just can't turn that puck over. And then if you turn it over, you got to defend. He had a chance to defend also, doesn't defend, and ends up in the back of our net. So those are all the things that change complexions of games. And for us, we're just trying to get away from the self-infliction. And that's what we're trying to teach here as we go through our last games.
You know, Stefan Matteau has played a number of games for you now. And like I said about him in the last game, you know what you're going to get out of that guy, because he's going to go hard. He's going to go to the front of the net. Unfortunately, he got offside on what could have been a goal there. But just the overall play of that, isn't that what you're looking for from everybody? And this is kind of what I'm getting the sense that you're talking about. Look, play to your strengths and do your job, do it well. And that's what he's kind of done for you in these 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. I think some of where I like to see, and I've talked about this, I like to see him play faster. I like to see him work on his anticipation skill, and that's not a physical skill. That's an awareness skill. I think sometimes he gets the puck and then he looks to what he's going to do with it. I think you need to get more of a quickness in your game before it even comes to you. Anticipate what you're going to do with it. Are you skating? Are you going to move it? Are you going to chip it? Whatever it may be, what's in front of you. I think that's something I like to see him work on. But he's a willing kid. Does the work along the walls. Has given us some good minutes, and I think the improvement, as I said in his game, has got to be thinking quicker, and I think he'll play faster that way.
You know, you said at 3-1, you still felt that you were playing a good game, and it winds up being 5-1. But I just want to ask you about that overall team defensive structure. You know, we can talk about being challenged for goals because you have been all year long, and we can talk about guys that used to be here and have been moved out or whatever. But it seems like the thing that's really changed the most through all of that is that defensive structure of your team. You know, maybe more so a guy gets loose and he gets a one-on-one opportunity with a goaltender, or, you know, you had a goal the other day where the guy's cutting right down the slot and he actually knocks a puck out of the air to put it in the net. But, you know, is that the toughest part of what you got right now with the guys that you're trying to work into the lineup? And I'm not even saying that the guys that have been there all year are playing it to the same level that they were earlier, but also with the experimentation and different guys in there. Have you lost that part of the game?
Yeah, well, and not just right now. I think throughout the year, I don't think we've been a hard enough team. We certainly haven't shown the hardness that we have shown as we've grown as an organization the past few years. defense and that type puck battles. That's a huge part of success. And I think we have really, the past 4 or 5 years, have really found our way there. I don't think it's been there this year. And this is when we had our lineup. Now it's a different lineup. There are some struggles as far as positioning, just simple coverages as far as who's low, who's going to cover the point men. There has been some struggles there. But the part of the game that I want to see, and I want to see how guys react in, is the hardness of the game. I don't. We're not consistent enough there. We're not, and some of it's mindset, Bobby. Let's face it. You don't play for. You're not playing for anything. We can sit there and say you this, that, the other thing, but athletes are when there's not a lot on the line, there is a little bit of a tick down mentally. I don't agree with it, but it is. It's in our game. But those are the things with the newer guys, the guys that Yarmo wants to see play, and see where we go with this organization. I think those are important moments for these players to where they're going to fit as we build again here with this organization.
How much does that bother you personally, though? Because you've created this culture of the hardness to play against and that grinding mindset. And even from the beginning of the year to see it, it was a red flag early, as you just said, and you saw that. Has this been something that's been kind of wearing on you throughout the course of the entire year about not being there and not being able to get back there?
Absolutely. It's on my watch. It's my responsibility, Bobby. This is my responsibility. And it's been something that we have pushed and pushed and pushed for a number of years, as I've said. And to see a dip, sure, but that's my job, is not to allow that. So this falls on me also. But you know what bothers me right now, Bobby, is we're in the bottom. Teams lose respect for you. I'm watching things go on behind the play, opposing players, what they're doing to some of our guys that they would never even thought of doing in the past few years. I think we've lost some respect in the league as far as what's gone on here. That's the hardest part for me, to see some guys that would be no-shows on the opposing teams against certain players. And now with a different lineup and some other people in the lineup take advantage of the situation. That grinds on me, and it should grind on the players because that is the number one priority for me. 5 or 6 years ago starting, is just trying to gain some traction, gain respect in this league. And I think this organization has done that. We haven't done it this year.
Is there anything you can do about that in the last handful of games besides winning them? I mean, is there any of that stuff that there's any way to stop?
All you can do is try to play the right way. And that's all we continue to try to teach here, is the hardness of the game, is the puck battles, is the structure, and a mindset of being a hard team to play against. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's easy to do that, because it's hard when you're going to be done in 2 weeks. But we're, as I've told the players, I want to finish the year. We need to try to finish the year with some dignity, and as far as trying to play the best way we can.
In the old days, you just call up a couple of guys from the American Hockey League that probably weren't going to stick in the league, but knew how to be tough.
Yeah, it crosses your mind, but you can't do it with taxi squad and roster players and this and that. You can't do it, but I feel that way. I really do, because that's what bothers me the most. We're done. We're not in the playoffs. We're going to be done. But the thing that bothers me the most is seeing some guys on opposing teams that are no-shows. If you stand up to them, all of a sudden standing up to some of our guys, and we've got a different club here, and all of a sudden they're standing up to, and maybe even doing some things, trying to push around some of our guys. That bothers me. That bothers me for our organization, and I just hope some guys remember that. That's the only way I feel about it. I'll always remember, and I'll leave it there. I could talk quite a bit on that, I tell you.
No, I know, and I understand where you're coming from. And actually, because of that, sometimes it leaves your goalies as that last line of defense in that too. I mean, we saw Elvis on Monday night. And, you got two pretty fiery goalies, two guys that don't back down from that kind of confrontation.
Yeah, they'll stand in there. Yeah, and we've lost a little bit of that too around our blue, and I'll leave that subject alone right now.
All right, the Tampa Bay Lightning has been the one team that every time you played them this year, your team has been up for them. You've played them tough. You've beaten them a couple of times. It's been right there. And how much are you looking forward to seeing what the group is going to bring tonight? Because it is a different group. It's not the same one that played them a couple of weeks ago in this building or played them at home after that. It's not the same group that has gone through the playoff battles and has grinded out the victories this year. But it can be – I'm sure there's going to be a lot that you're going to be looking at tonight, right?
Yeah, each and every game, the management team and the coaches are looking at how players react in these situations. I'm putting players in certain situations that they probably didn't think they were going to be put into because of the situation we're in. So this is opportunity for a number of players on our team to show. And as Jarmo has to make decisions with the expansion draft, all the stuff that goes along, and trying to get us back on the right road as an organization.
What are you going to do with your lineup tonight?
Lineup tonight, Stenlin will be out. Dalby is out due to some family situations. He's back home. His wife is pregnant, and I think she's going to be delivering soon if she hasn't already. So Max comes in and Gerby comes in, and Elvis is our goalie. And
Gerby, that's a little bit of that grit that you've talked about. We've seen that from him before.
Yeah. He'll bring some energy to us, and anxious to see him play.
And I'm sure you don't want to see. Well, you want to see grit from Max. You just don't want to see what you saw last time he was in.
I just want Max to try to help us win a hockey game. I want him to do the things that he can do and try to help us win a hockey game.
All right, Torts, thank you very much. Good luck tonight.
All right, Bobby, thanks.